What's going on? What's going on? What is up? Waiting to see if any other people hop in chat. Hop on the feed real quick. I just got finished uploading. I'm actually getting ready to film, actually. So I decided to go live on my phone real fast just to kind of get things kick-started before I start my filming process, where I actually film uh, content for YouTube. The type of content where I am editing and adding all of the fine-tuned details that I usually add. And I just wanted to hop on, and I want to thank real fast. I want to thank all of the people who hopped on the live. I just created a few minutes ago. I was on for maybe about 30, 40 minutes. I was trying to go for like an hour, but then um I pushed the button before I remembered to go an hour. So I was like, but hey, it was just something that I wanted to do, but I guess I was complete before that. So everything is moving in divine favor already. And it is a beautiful day out here. It is so beautiful. I'm at the Fort Lauderdale Beach. Okay. I want to thank all of the subscribers, all of the subscribers for checking in that got an opportunity to. And I want to thank all of the subscribers that will see this in your time, whether it's live or not live for you. I want to thank you in advance. And I am on a different part of my journey. Okay. I am in a different space in my journey, and I am really enjoying this part of my journey. This is something that I always wanted to achieve. And this is something that I've achieved this before, but I haven't achieved it in this magnitude before. And I'm in a new space in my journey, and I am truly loving it. I am truly loving it. It is really, I want to say breathtaking, but actually, I'm getting more breath. I'm getting more life. Okay. I'm experiencing more love, more self love, a lot of just influx of compassion and love coming in this direction. And um maybe it's always like that. Okay. I wanna put it on the record and say maybe it is always that way. Um this is the first time I'm actually present, where I'm fully embodying it while entering into this space of my life. Okay. And I just want to thank everyone so much for continuing to rock with the channel. Excuse me, I put my finger on top of the camera. I'm going live and things happen. I don't have a selfie stick. Okay. So I did have one at one point or another. I don't have no idea whatsoever where it is. It's somewhere in that house. I don't even know if I could even locate it. So it is what it is. I'm just toughing it out right now. I'm toughing it out, wearing a few of my favorite chains. I got the puka shell seashell necklace. Y'all already know I got the with the moldavite, clear quartz crystal, rose quartz, selenite, Also here I have this is another one that I made that I haven't been wearing it a lot, but I'm gonna start wearing it more. This one has labradorite, pyrite, okay, fatten, fatten quartz, high grade, high grade stuff, fatten quartz in there. And what else? There was something else in there. Selenite. Yes, selenite is in there as well. And there's something else in there too, but it'll come to me later. Just be stuffing stuff down in these, down in these chains. Actually, I crafted this myself. Y'all see the flavor for. I got the copper, I got the seashells going. Made out of seashells, ocean. So yeah, I am very crafty with the hands, as y'all can see. I am trying all kinds of different things, unapologetically enjoying that. As y'all could see, I came down here and I feel really, I feel really blessed, and I feel really happy to be sharing time with you. And I feel really, I feel like I'm making some really good decisions in my life. And I feel like I've been really consistent with putting myself first. I feel like I've been really consistent with listening to my inner voice. I feel like I have been majorly consistent with living in the moment. I am keep talking about this new space I'm in. I'm just in a space of, exercising my free will, and that can come in many different shapes and forms. And a lot of times you don't know what free will you're going to be exercising, but it's working out. It is working out. Okay. I am sitting Caesar style, which is I'm sitting on my heels, sitting with my knees going forward. That's a new thing that I've implemented. That's a new thing that I have implemented into my routine. I just got finished working out. Y'all seen it in my previous live. But I work out in the morning anyway, first thing in the grand rising. It's the very first thing I do anyway. But I did some amazing things today, man. Like I got a chance to it's funny. I woke up and I woke up early and I did my morning routine, and I brushed my teeth, showered, meditated, and got dressed, everything like that. Right as I'm getting ready to leave, I'm tired, right? And I said, you know what? I'm gonna take a nap. I am gonna take a nap. Okay. I'm gonna and I must have slept for like another 4 hours. And I mean, I woke up feeling so good, man. I really didn't want to leave the house. It was one of those naps where I could have just stayed in the house for the rest of the day. And I wasn't tired. I woke up with plenty of energy. I feel like I had more energy than I've probably had in a long time. And because I'm always stepping out of my comfort zone, I've made a conscious decision to leave the house and head over there, you know, or over there, or over there to the ocean. Yeah. And it is such a beautiful, hot day. It's probably almost 90 degrees. Could be. I have not checked. Last time I checked, it did say 87, but humidity is very high. And I'm feeling really spiritually protected right now. I feel like I really been just dodging some major obstacles, and I feel like I've been creating obstacles for things that try and create obstacles for me, which is wild. That just came to me. I guess I'm being called to say that like that. I'm creating the very obstacles that are being created for me to succumb to. It has been returned to sender, I suppose. I'm not. I haven't stuck around to really find out per se. Um, but I feel very free. I feel very sovereign. I feel very uh, full with joy. All right, my heart is filled with gratitude, appreciation, and you know, there's a lot of changes that have been occurring. There's a lot of changes that have been occurring probably for like the past year now, and they're all ascension changes. Like some may call them growing pains. Others I like to call it ascension, where you literally trade one style of living for a better one. And it's hard in the beginning. It's very hard. It's very hard because you're so used to living the way you live. You're so used to things being the way you're expected to be. And to make a choice to trade all of that comfort in for something better, it's very hard. It's very rewarding, but it's very hard. It's very hard. And the beautiful thing about how hard things become, the beautiful thing about how hard things become is the fact that it you only learn it once. You only learn the test once. You only have to pass the test once. You are only you being tested is you saying to yourself, is this the life I truly want? Because I'm putting in all of the work to be there. And it's a test that you know you're gonna pass. It's a test you always knew you would always pass. And for the past year in my life, 2026 now, um, last year, it could have really been a really tough life, for people who know me personally. Um, I've shared things here on the channel, but I'm still on a healing journey, and I'm gonna always be healing, and I'm gonna always be sharing. So in the event that I don't share everything now, there'll be a time when I do, and it's no pressure. I learned last year, this year, how strong I really am, how intentional I really am, and I also learned how much God truly loves me. And I learned the hard way, the easy way, and the hard way. The hard way because I say it's hard because I was super intentional on creating specific reality. And God came in and pretty much showed me that the reality that I'm trying to create, I'm playing it small. And God pretty much said, you know what? I'm gonna give you something way better than what you are asking me for, because what you are asking me for is making me laugh. Ah, all right, time sitting this down now. Woo! Hit that like button when you see this. Um, I came with this big plan. I came with this big plan. It was huge. It was huge. And when I told God what it was, God laughed at me like, are you serious? Don't you realize you can have so much more than this? you know? And you know, the funny thing about God is if you ever want to make God laugh, you tell him what your plans are. And it's funny because, like I said, I know now looking back, I was playing it so small, and I was playing it small, man. I was like, trying to be humble and trying to, um, you know, asking for things to be a certain way, knowing on this journey, you do not ask, you command it. All right. You command it, and you have to match the energy of God. You have to, you have to be on the frequency God is on in order, um, in order for you to be in alignment, in order for you to get the downloads, in order for you to get the insight and the introspection. All right. And it's a funny thing because it was the wildest year I think I've had in a long time. And I took it with a grain of salt. Like I took it like very, unbothered. I'm very ground. I'm still very grounded. I need to look at this camera more because I feel like I'm going too close. But I know I get in the zone and I start looking away and all this type of stuff. But I'm so grounded. I'm so proud of myself right now, and I've never been this grounded. I'm watching. I don't know. I'm being called to say this like this, but it's just like when you hear about stories of like the devil and or whatever low vibrational energy. I don't know how if YouTube wants me to say the word the devil, but I'm just gonna keep it real and say it how it's coming to me. You watch people scour a lot of times. You watch um things come into your life, that to try and confuse you. You watch, it's funny, it's a funny space to be in because when you're grounded, you are observing, you see the energy coming to you from like what did Kendrick Lamar say, like 3 planets away. You see the energy coming toward you. All right. And the way the devil operates, I'm not giving the devil any credit. I'm just trying to enlighten the collective a little bit with how I see it. It was stated to me that the devil s- searches to and from, seeking to looking to seek, to devour, you know. And anytime I've ever been encountered with low vibrational energy, I've come face to face with that type of energy a lot of times, and it's very interesting, because I know that the lesser version of myself from a few years ago, I would have definitely cracked. I would have definitely, you know, matched energy or try to use my energy to fight it off. But when you are fighting spiritual battles, you cannot fight spirituality, spiritual battles. You cannot fight spiritual battles from the physical. You have to look at things as spiritual, as a spiritual being, as having a human experience. You have to look at life as being a spiritual being having a human experience in order to fight low vibrational spirits. spiritual energy. And for those of you all who truly know, we don't fight the battle. God fights the battle. All right. And this is how you are able to, well, this is how I am able to keep my energy and sustain it because I recognize early that I don't have to fight against people, or places or things. And it's nothing wrong with praying. It's nothing wrong with praying for people. It's nothing wrong with praying for places, people, places, and things. But it's very important to not go against what God wants to do too. It's very important to, even though you're praying for people, to not go against what God is going to do, what the universe is going to do. And I learned to just be calm and accept life for what it is, whether it seems like it's going great or not. I always, especially this year, I've learned to give thanks and really just really be in a space of gratitude and and really look at each thing that I'm very grateful for, and each thing that I'm very appreciative of, and let it be known. Like I speak it out into existence. I speak it when I look in the mirror. I speak it when I'm by myself. Like right now, I'm by myself out here in nature, and I thank God all the time. I thank the universe all the time that I have an opportunity to start again. I have an opportunity to, um, another opportunity to strive and be great again, even though I always have confidence every day and I always tell myself that I am great and I feel great. I recognize that there are always more levels again to work toward, strive toward. So this is why I am humble because I just everything that I've been through last year and even this year, even this week, even this week, I've been through some things, and all you can do is just observe. Like you can't be angry, you can't be upset with um things because hit that like button. When you are very intentional, the moment you are intentional and you are calling forth your power to change your reality and create a new reality, things do have to fall apart. And the beautiful thing about life is that things that look like they're falling apart are really falling together. And you are witnessing it all happen. And if you're lucky enough to witness it without doing anything about anything, that's a blessing because you are then able to see that everything will work out. Everything can work out and it will be good. And I'm here at the ocean and you know, I'm just thinking about there was a major obstacle that I overcome recently. And let's just give credit where it's due. I hold myself fully accountable, all right, for every decision that I ever make. Of course it's not any bad news, It's not, y'all already know over here on this channel you know, it's always gonna be on the up and up. But we also are authentic enough to keep it real as well, and be very transparent and forthcoming. I've overcome a major obstacle that I created, and I'm not going to go deep into the specs of it right now. What I am going to do is I'm going to tell you that both times I made a decision. I made a decision to go into certain circumstances, and I made a decision to come out of certain circumstances. And both times I learned something. I learned that I can change. I learned that I can grow. I learned that I can call forth things into my experience. I learned that I can and will continue to be very inspiring to other people as well as myself. I learned that people learn a lot from me, even if I don't speak to them, or if I haven't gotten to speak to them, or if I haven't gotten to teach them, or if I haven't gotten to really sit and spend time. I've learned that my energy, my power that I possess, that I have flowing through me, is a master healer, is a teacher. My energy is a teacher. My energy is a master healer. My energy is an energy conduit. You know, I conduct energy. I create high vibrational energy at will. And I learned this about myself. And I'm able to be very transparent in this moment because there was a time many moons ago, many moons, not recently, but many moons ago, where I did not used to be positive. I did not used to think positive. I had a very low self esteem. I struggled with worrying about what people thought about me. There was of course, I was like young, you know, and I put a lot of work into what it is you are experiencing. All right. And I'm encouraging you to see your own power that you have within. And it's very interesting to me because, you know, I went through, and it's funny, because like as I'm observing everything I've been through in this past year, or this past 3 years, because I've been creating YouTube videos for 3 years. I've literally created so many scenarios. I've created so much. I've accepted so much. I've embodied a lot of things. I've actually gotten rid of a lot of old habits. I've gotten rid of a lot of negative thought patterns. I've gotten rid of low vibrational um circumstances, and so forth. And both times I was the decision maker. Both times I held myself accountable, and both times I fully embodied my free will to build and destroy when it comes to my life. And I did not have the, I was not operating in ego. I was not operating in fear. I was very, I was very, as I want to say, I was operating in clarity. The clarity is very evident because when you are able to see what can happen in the future, and when you are also able to see what you've been through in the past, you can control how you heal yourself. You can control what areas of your life need healing. And you are also very conscious of the fact that not everything needs healing. Not every area of your life needs healing, you know. And it's great because you recognize that you don't have to change everything about yourself. You don't have to do the big um 360 or the 720 or the 180 or whatever the spin arounds are. You don't have to go into it all and it's saying, and it's funny because I know they used to say this. They used to say this on you on Facebook all the time back in the day. They used to say, "New year, new me. New year, new me." And then, you could just see the people get triggered. And I just thought it was like the funniest thing back in the day because it's like, how? How, in some cases, like, how is it the new you? In other cases, it's like, um, you're always going to be the new you. It's always going to be a new opportunity for you to be a new you. Like, there are people that, you might have known them 20 years or 30 years, and they're not the person now that you first met them. You've seen them evolve. You've seen yourself evolve. There's things that you were so ready to like rock out with in the beginning of your journey that right now you cringe at. Like you might just be like, oh, like, I can't believe I thought that was cool, or I can't believe I thought I was cool, or whatever. And it's not a shame tactic. It's just you elevated, you grew, and you allowed yourself to evolve. You allowed yourself to become the butterfly and not the caterpillar anymore. You've allowed it to occur. And for some of you, you didn't even ask for it. You just submitted. You just were submissive to God, to the universe, and you just said, do whatever you got to do. Because clearly, when I do things, I'm not sure yet. And God, the universe took over and created this version that you are now. And now that you know who you are, and now that you know what you are, you no longer have to say, God, take over. You can say, um, let me be a part of whatever you do. And that can be how you talk to the universe or how you talk to God. You can say, let me do my part. Let me join in. Let me get in on some of this work that has to be done, and let me help you. Even though we're only fragments of the universe, essentially, if you really want to look at it, and I'm not saying that there's nothing we can do to help the universe, but we can always co-create. We can always do our part and really take ourselves out of the way, out of our own way, and really just be. We can just be great. Um, and even if we're not great, even if we're not being great, you can always have a lot of charisma. You can always be, charismatic, and you can always try your hardest. And you don't have to be the best. You don't have to say I'm the best. You don't have to be the best. So it takes people sometimes 10 years to say that they're the best, and then they're even still working on themselves to be better than that because they're moving their goalposts because they know that they can do better. And I just, something that's coming to me right now. I'm getting a download. Sometimes it's okay to walk away from certain things. Sometimes it's okay to walk away from certain things. You don't have to give this whole speech about why you're doing what you're doing. You don't have to give an account to anyone or anything um, about your mind changing and why it changed and why you were sure you were going to do some certain things one way and now you have a different heart. You don't have to go into the whole thing. um your ability to step away from things that are no longer serving you is a superpower. It's a real superpower. It's a real powerful trait. and you recognize that you don't have to express unlimited loyalty to things that are really detrimental or really holding you back. If you are currently coming out of a situation that found out is no longer serving you, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. And we are told loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. You know, be loyal. If you're not loyal, you're not. Whatever society may say. And there's times where it is right. So I'm not judging, but I'm just saying in this instance, um, you had enough courage to walk away from something because it's really not serving you. And um, you did the trial and error. You tried reason. You tried to reason. You tried taking the high road. You tried being the bigger person. You tried walking away as far as keeping your mouth shut and leaving people to their own devices, or leaving places to their own devices or things. Um, but now you really stepped into your power and just you just woke up one day and said, "I'm good." And you didn't even know you was gonna be like that. You didn't even know it was gonna be like that. You thought you were gonna power through and keep seeing the light in good in things, keep seeing the light in people, keep seeing the light in things, keep seeing the light in places, you kept seeing the light in job places or careers where you see that God left it a long time ago, and God said, "I'm not in here. Like, you can stay if you want, but I ain't here." And you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you kept being a bigger person till you realize, hey, look, I am a bigger person than this stuff. And you're not judging, you're not saying you better than anybody or anything like that, but you're saying that, like, by you looking at yourself, you are so much better than this stuff. You are so much better than this thing. You are so much better than this idea, or this um person that's hating, or this job that's hating, or whatever, failed business link ups or whatever. And you're cool with everything. You're cool with exercising your free will, exercising your power, and you're doing it very humbly. You're not being disrespectful. You're not um, having the big blow up disagreement, argument on your way out. Because listen, we recognize we have to take care of ourselves first. And so we're all getting older. We're gonna be older longer than we're younger. And there's a lot of health risks that come with arguing and fighting and disagreeing and stuff like that. And a lot of time it's just easier to just let things be what it's gonna be, instead of you trying to will it into something positive, or you trying to use your energy to make it work out, or, you know, being sick and tired. But they used to say, shout out to my sister. She used to always say, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired," when I was a kid. And, she'd be talking about all kinds of, stuff like that. I love my sister, man. You know what I'm saying? She's amazing. I gotta call her later. Um, but you're tired. You're not tired like that, but you just like, all right, I can't keep let these people, places, and things take my good energy and alchemize it for badness, for low vibrational negativity, for devil work. You know what I mean? And you it's not fair for you to set your intentions, make your day positive, affirm that it's gonna be a blessed day, affirm that you're going to be financially stable and abundant. And you already prayed that your kids are going to have a blessed day, and that you're going to have a blessed day, your spouse, your family, your parents, your grandparents, your grandkids, whatever. And then you go to a person, a place, or a thing, and then they take your good energy and alchemize it and use it to fuel the negativity or the devilment. You know what I mean? And we're not doing that, and it's you stepped into your power. You called your power back, and you don't have to give, like I said earlier, you don't have to give this big fanfare speech about, hey, it was real, and you know, wish y'all the best, and wish, da 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 da. Sometimes you just gotta like just let it be what it is, just exit. Yeah, exit the building. Exits the building, as Ti would say. You know, the rap, and it's not even that you were disrespected or nothing. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. It has everything to do with you. It has everything to do with your journey. Look at it like this: you're traveling, you're tired, you lay down to take a nap. That doesn't mean you stay there for the rest of your life. You are only taking a nap. You get up, you shower, you work out, whatever, get something to eat, and then you out of there. You on to better pastures, bigger patches of grass. You know, as Jay Z used to say, because he's trending right now. But as Jay Z used to say, um, put me anywhere on God's green earth, I'll triple my worth. You know, and we not really here to, we're not here to be under someone's thumb, or we're not letting our power fuel something that is gonna just withdraw from us and not really pour into us. We all about reciprocity here and now. We all about that reciprocity. We trying to, the minute we pouring into someone, we want to feel that energy coming right into us, coming right back to us. And it's love, and the people or the places and the things, they love looking out for us, just like we love looking out for them. I was watching this lady. I mean, I was on social media. I can't believe I can't remember her name. I just subscribed today, but she was saying all these amazing, beautiful affirmations about, you know, she said something like, I used to think of creative ways to make money. Now I think of creative ways I can spend money or give money back. Yeah, she said something like, I used to think of creative ways I could make money, but now I think of creative ways I could give money back, you know? And I mean, that's just like a billionaire mindset, a billionaire mindset. Like that mindset is beautiful, man. And I mean, I watched that. It was like a short video. It was like I guess it was on Instagram. I must have watched that video for 45 minutes. I never watched a video that long. I never watched a Instagram short video that long. And it was a short video. It's a short. It's not like one of these long content film, based film, videos. It's it's like, this person was like in the zone. I mean, she was talking. Ah, I love it, man. I love that positive affirmation, that strong positive, where you just have that strong aura and you just like affirm it. You affirm the blessings are here before you get there, and you walking into them type of talk. I love that, man. You know, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna share something with y'all, man. Like I've been raised around a lot of strong women, a lot of strong women in my life, man. I love, that's one thing I love, being around strong women who, they figure it out, man. They got a way, that they figure out a way out of no way, you know? And my mom, my sisters, my aunts, my cousins, you know, a lot of strong women. Of course, um, stern men as well in my family. Shout out, my dad, my uncles. I've had uncles that, um, really touched serious money, and was like looking out, and all, everything was super blessed, and we was eating, so I've seen people thrive. I've seen it manifest. As a kid, it was regular, it was normal. Of course, we wasn't wealthy, but we had love, we had self-love, we had love for everyone else. And even my grandmother, I'll speak about my grandmother real quick. Of course, the matriarch, of course. And she was very strong, just very stern, very, very, very focused woman. Wouldn't hurt a fly, man. And the first person, in my life that I ever saw that she would keep a lot of like monstera flowers, and just like these big huge flowers in the house. You know, huge flowers, and she had them for years, and they would never get brown. And she had like an apartment. She used to live in she used to have a big home, but she downsized because she wasn't afraid to downsize. But coming up as a young kid, she had like these big green like flowers, and she would open up the window, and she didn't care if the flies flew in, and we didn't, she didn't really care about like the screens, the screen doors and stuff like that. So it was what it was. She said, "Hey, I got my fly swatter if anything," but she never really had to pull it out. But but she was more concerned with the mosquitoes, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, she was like one of those type of people, man, that was just like very clear and very like focused, man. And anyways, I don't want to get too far off topic, but I saw that Instagram reel today where it was like a short video, and I just fell in love with it. And you know, I'm in this space right now, man, where I just want to like I don't care about what people want to give me. I want to be in a space where I can give, I want to be able to give, and I get it, I get it. There's, all types of people in the world, and you have to be mindful. I'm focused on in that aspect, you know. I'm just saying that like um in a society where you can easily be programmed to just get all you can get out of this society or the system. you know for one, I'm in nature, and for two, I'm in a space where I want to give. I want to like really just give. And you know I'm giving from a full cup, and I'm not worried about can give anything to me or anything like that. And it's just a really good space to get in, and this is why I'm telling y'all about my journey, about finally being in this space where um I'm in a new part of my journey where you don't even know sometimes that you even if you even have the courage to even make the jump. And I keep thinking about this story about, I don't know if it's a David and Goliath story, but it's like a story about I said this once on one of my other videos a long time ago, but it was a person. It was a story about a person on a boat that had to go to this island to defeat this giant. And the person was in fear, in unshakable fear, just fear, right? And the way the story went was like this: he had courage, but he was fearful. But he realized that once he got into the boat, the closer he got to the island, the smaller the giant got, until by the time he got to the island and he was stepping off the boat, he was able to step over the giant, you know. And this is kind of how problems show up in our life, decisions show up in our life. They seem like catastrophic. They seem that you don't know what you're going to do and you worry. But it's not until you are sitting in silence and you are in a space where you are making the decision when you realize, okay, I got this. And you make the decision and things work out, you know. And even if things don't seem like they're working out, they work out better than what you initially imagined that they would or that they could. And this is the reason why I got rid of fear. This is the reason um why I don't operate in fear. I see it. I see it's very it's there. It's there. And there's times where, you might really feel it in your solar plexus. You might really feel life. You might, because anytime you feel anything in your stomach, your gut is your gut is your first brain. When you feel something in your stomach, that's your first. That's it. When you think about the word intuition, that's your first brain is your gut. Okay, your gut is your first brain, and um, just like your third eye is your first eye, your gut is your first brain. All right, and you know sometimes you just get to a point where you don't want to go through that shock. You don't want to go through that fear. You don't want to go through that type of stuff anymore. Or um again, if you've been out of it for a long time, you don't want to have that feeling where now you feel your stomach, you feel, something like really fearful in your stomach, or and now you in the crystal shop looking for Libyan desert glass and all these, the sunstone and all these yellow uh crystals to deal with the solar plexus and all of that. Like, you just want to be, free, and you want to exercise your free will, and um as Bob Marley would say, live and let live. You want to just live and let live. And I'm at a place, like I said, maybe one day I'll share it in a video where I made a decision I didn't think I was gonna make this year. I kept saying I was gonna make the decision past couple of years, but I finally made it this week. And look at me, man. I'm happy, happy ASL, you know? Super happy, man. Crystals on my neck. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. Look at this. This thing is crazy. It's beautiful, man. That pyrite. Go get y'all some pyrite. Go get y'all. Listen, I'm gonna give y'all a formula for some financial abundance and manifestation. Go get you some citrine, citrine, clear quartz, and what's the other one? Pyrite, citrine, clear quartz, black obsidian, and green aventurine. All right. You want to experience some financial abundance. You want to change your financial, the aura, the energy in your space, whether it's your own aura or the aura where you reside at, or your office or whatever. Get you some pyrite, green aventurine, citrine, and some black obsidian. Okay. Black obsidian protects the energy. All right. Wards off fear, wards off negative energy, brings clarity. The clarity comes from clear quartz crystal, brings clarity, master healer, psychic. You'll be able to see where the prosperity is coming from, where their financial abundance is coming from. All right. Citrine, financial abundance, windfall, money, abundance, pyrite, um, leadership, confidence, financial abundance. Again, these are financial. And then if you really want that extra added courage, if you want to add tiger's eye, if you feel compelled to add a tiger's eye, I mean, you may as well be the CEO if you do that. You may as well CEO your whole the whole thing. You may as well be the business. You may as well own the whole business. You may as well create the business and own the business. If you're gonna add the tiger's eye. But that's my formula for financial abundance. Green aventurine is one that I'm like in love with that crystal, man. Like it's something about that crystal. And of course you could get jade as well. But I mean, just those four, just the pyrite, the citrine, clear quartz crystal, and the black obsidian, because clear quartz crystal, that's gonna amplify the energy anyway of all the other crystals. Whew, different. It's different. I am very happy to be talking with you all. All right. And I want to encourage you all, if you are traveling, definitely go ahead and check out my affiliate links. I am working closely with Expedia. Okay. We are working. Okay. I am um posting a lot of my affiliate links now on the page. I started to make a separate page for traveling, but I'm not going to do all that. I'm just gonna implement it within the content that I'm creating now, because you know I did I'm not the type of I'm realizing that I don't think I have the energy to go back and forth between different YouTube pages right now. Maybe in the future. I do have another YouTube page for my artwork, but I haven't even posted anything yet on there. If y'all want to check that out, y'all could. But you know, anyways, if you are traveling, check out my Expedia links, my Expedia affiliate links. They are lit. Okay. I'm already catching some sales. All right. Excellent deals. Okay. Amazing. Up to almost $300 off if you're taking a week or two off, of your final total. All right. And you always catch extra sales if you use the app. All right. If you go past the website and you use the app. But also too, if you want to get some of the merchandise, I definitely have merchandise on my Printful page. Okay. Printful slash the Ocean Experience. All right. And I'm contemplating putting more beach merchandise on there. But for right now, I definitely have the t-shirts and the hoodies and the beach shorts and the flip flops going. All right. I'll see if I want to add more merchandise for ocean stuff. I kind of wanted to be open ended because I do like creating merchandise as well, but I don't want to just be like just beach merchandise. I want to just kind of like expand and just like do some fly stuff, do some lit stuff, stuff that has little to do with the beach or nothing to do with the beach. I just kind of want to do my own thing with that. But yeah, like I said, the Expedia links are lit if you are looking for a hotel, if you are looking for a plane, if you are looking for flights, if you are looking for hotels, if you are looking for rental cars, if you are looking for activities, if you are looking for package deals, if you are looking for cruises. All right, let me show you the ocean. If y'all are looking for cruises, all of that good stuff, man, definitely go ahead and check out expedia.com slash travels by the ocean experience. The links will be in the description and in my bio, and I might leave a link in the comment section of this video as well. That's kind of been my thing I've been doing lately. All right. And I'm loving it. I'm loving, um, just all that good stuff, man. If y'all want to go to Thailand, if y'all want to go to Mexico, if y'all want to go to South America, if y'all want to go to Greenland, Iceland, y'all have an idea for Ireland, Spain, Portugal, India, Asia, you want to go to Morocco, wherever you want to travel to, one click away, and the prices are fire, fire. We got the events, if you want to get into some of the activities once you get there, and you don't want to just be walking around just, nomad style, and you want to do some actual activities, I definitely have some links for that as well. As I said earlier, we got the package deals going wild. And, I'm just here to play my part, man, because that's something that I'm gonna be doing in the near future as well. I'm gonna definitely be doing a lot of traveling. I'm gonna be definitely doing a lot of traveling, and I'm gonna be having fun. All right. I love y'all. Thinking of y'all. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start recording. I don't know if I'm gonna record though, but I think I might just do one video. Maybe I'll do two. I don't know. But anyways, I love y'all. I can't wait to see you all in the very next video. I hope you were able to gain value and inspiration for your journey through my content. All right. I love y'all. I see y'all soon. All right. Peace and love. Namaste.